To us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. Coming up is the Joy Business Report brought to us by Glyco Life Travel Insurance. Glyco, we're cushioning you for life. Agbafu.
Good morning, Winston. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm good. We are coming back from a Father's Day weekend. Did you get to see your father?
No, I called him.
All right. I called him too.
I called him. When I got home on Friday, my son had returned from school and he had, this card with Happy Father's Day. I love you, Daddy.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Oh yeah. Once I got home, he just, came to me. He was on the bed and he saw me and said, "Happy Father's Day. I love you, Daddy." That was nice. And then yesterday, he did say, Saturday he did say. And then yesterday, when he woke up again, he did that. When I went to town and came back, he did the same thing again.
Charlie, you have to do something for the boy.
Oh, he's made me enjoy Father's Day. When I was 7, I said, "Daddy, please, can you buy me pizza?"
There was an agenda to it. No doubt he truly loves you.
Yeah, so I was like, so I really enjoy Father's Day.
Great.
I was reminded all the time, that, the Black Stars messed up the whole day yesterday.
Oh, Charlie.
The Black Stars, I don't know. I was asking, we were having the conversation here and I asked a simple question. In today's Black Stars, should Andre Ayew be playing 90 minutes? Should Andre Ayew be playing 90 minutes for the Black Stars?
He's your top striker, isn't he?
Which striker is that? Which striker? Which striker?
Well, I don't know.
No. Anyway, I don't know what you make of it, but you can definitely join us on Twitter using the hashtag JoySMS and tell us what you make of the performance of the Black Stars. But I felt that,
disappointing.
I felt very disappointed because we could have done better. But also coming up this morning here on the Super Morning Show.
The IMF doesn't impose itself on any country. Through countries' own actions and inactions, mismanagement of the economy and the rest of them takes them to the IMF.
We will not go to the IMF today, we will not go to IMF tomorrow, and we are not going as long as the NPP remains in power.
Once the government, on our behalf, whether I like it or not, says we are not going to the IMF, then my position changed. Then show us alternative.
So part 2 of A Nation That Begs. Today's is from hero to zero. You remember when we issued the zero coupon Eurobond?
Yeah.
It was like a first time.
Yeah.
And again, it showed us that, this is a country that is doing well. Today, Ghana's story is used to advise other countries. That's the reality.
Yeah.
You've seen it in
Rwanda.
Rwanda the last time.
Yeah.
You've seen it in Kenya. Our story has become that story that countries use and say, don't be like Ghana.
And the confidence with which we said, we are not going to the IMF today, we are not going to the IMF tomorrow.
Well,
and not under an MPP government.
Well, on part 2 of our Hotline documentary, A Nation That Begs, today's focus is on From Hero
to Zero.
Now time for the Joy Business Report with Darryl Kwao and the team.
Brand new week. Welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up this morning, government expected to receive about $6.2 billion from its multilateral partners between 2023 and 2026 as it is at the final stages of restructuring all domestic debts, including cocoa bills and local dollar bonds. Also coming up, Treasury bill sale falls short of 3.79 billion cedi ambitious target set by government. Meanwhile, interest rates have risen to 28.9%. Also ahead of the 2023 media budget presentation, the Institute of Fiscal Studies advises government to review taxes on petroleum products. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us this morning. Also later in the bulletin, the Public Interest and Accountability Committee dismisses perception that Western oil-producing companies are shunning investments in Ghana because of the energy transition policies by their respective governments. First, though, government has indicated it is at the final stage of restructuring all domestic debts. The Finance Ministry recently announced it has successfully completed its domestic debt exchange program. However, it is now left with reaching a deal with the domestic investors on the cocoa bills and the domestic dollar bonds. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has been giving more details about this at a news conference.
We are looking at the legal documentation for the cocoa bills and also the domestic debt, the US dollar denominated one. So my suspicion really is that the SEC needs to clear the documentation, and then we'll formally launch it maybe within the next couple of weeks or so.
The minister also gave updates on the pension funds and the debt owed independent power producers.
We have also rolled out a program to engage independent power producers, consistent with the MOU signed with organized labor in December 2022 on the exemption of pension funds. They continue to be exempted. Government is currently engaging organized labor and pension fund corporate trustees in line with the MOU to explore mutually beneficial options within debt sustainability limits and to promote macroeconomic stability and economic growth in the spirit of social partnership.
In a related development, the finance minister has revealed that government is expected to receive about $6.2 billion from multilateral partners between 2023 and 2026. Addressing the media yesterday, he said the government has come up with Ghana's post-COVID-19 program for economic growth, which is backed by the International Monetary Fund and covers all needed reforms to ensure economic growth. He pointed out that government is committed to following through with the reforms and expects a total of $2 billion from multilateral partners by the end of this year.
Backed by the renewed drive for reforms, government is working towards securing significant support from our multilateral partners. Altogether, and including the IMF funds, World Bank and AFDB support, we expect multilateral support of about $2 billion for 2023 and $6.2 billion between 2023 and 2026.
That was Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Treasury bill sale fell short of the 3.79 billion cedi ambitious target set by government as interest rates hit 28.9% for the 364-day bill. According to data from the Bank of Ghana, the auction of the short-term securities went down by 771 million cedis. There is more in this report.
Government has been borrowing heavily on the money market since the beginning of the year, because the market has become the only source of financing. However, it is coming with a higher cost. According to the latest auction results, the government secured 3.018 billion cedis from the short-term securities, but accepted 3.015 billion cedis. The 91-day bill, as usual, received chunk of the bid from the investors, representing about 79 of the total T-bills bids. About 2.398 billion cedis were tendered, but the government accepted 2.394 billion cedis. For the 182-day bill, a little above 521 million cedis were the bids submitted, in which the government accepted all. The same thing happened to the one-year bill, as government accepted all the bids worth 99.79 million cedis. Meanwhile, interest rates continue to surge. The 3-month bill went up by 0.43% to 21.69%, while the 182-day bill also surged to 24.97% from 23.95% the previous week.
That was a Business Desk report. In other news, as government begins to engage civil society organizations and think tanks ahead of the 2023 media budget review, the Institute of Fiscal Studies has advised the Finance Minister to reconsider the tax components on petroleum prices that contribute to inflation. According to the IFS, taxes on petroleum products put undue hardship on businesses and households. Speaking at a pre-media budget presentation, a senior research fellow at the IFS, Dr. Said Boache, warned that taxes on petroleum products could negatively affect the government's goal of reducing inflation to a sustainable level in the 2023 budget.
Therefore, adjusting fuel levies in line with inflation, which is bound to raise fuel prices also in line with inflation, will feed back into inflation, requiring further raise in the fuel levies, thereby creating a vicious cycle of higher and higher fuel prices, and that's worsening inflation and economic stability in Ghana.
You had a senior research fellow at the IFS, Dr. Said Boache. State Pension Trust (SNET) has indicated that it will institute additional measures to compel employers to pay workers' pension contributions. It follows revelations that a lot more firms are failing to carry out this function, which is required by law to help protect workers due for pension. Director General of SNET, Dr. John Ofori-Tenkwan, says the legal option has not been ruled out as all options are on the table.
Is employing workers and it's failing to remit the contributions which has deducted from the contributors' paycheck. Then, we have compliance officers that visit your premises, go through the books, and then check what you've done versus what we have. And if we find out that you haven't lived up to your obligations towards your employees, then we engage you and make sure that you pay. And
you had Dr. John Ofori-Tenkwan, he's Director General of SNET. The Public Interest and Accountability Committee (PIAC) has dismissed the perception that Western or foreign oil-producing companies are shunning investments in Ghana because of the energy transition policies by their respective governments. This is coming on the back of reduced oil production since it started in 2013. The government has in recent times struggled to attract investments in the upstream petroleum sector. Speaking to Joy Business, Technical Manager at PIAC, Michael Ajiman, said the government should speed up good quality data acquisition in order to attract foreign firms that have the capacity to explore oil in Ghana.
What we have to do as a country is speed up in a very efficient and sustainable way our data acquisition in order, as in good data acquisition, not just data acquisition, quality data acquisition, in order to attract investors. Look, these oil companies that we are saying they are shying away from petroleum activities because of energy transition, it is not entirely true. What they are doing is diversifying their portfolios because the Western stakeholders especially are on them.
Michael Ajiman is Technical Manager at PIAC. Now, also in the news this morning, Fast Forward Investment Ghana Limited, a retailer in Ghana bringing international brands to the African market, has announced a partnership with Charles Tewitt to introduce the brand to Ghanaian consumers through a franchise deal. Addressing the media at the launch of his new store at the Accra Mall, Chief Executive Officer John Onyoguzoro said the move is to enable loyal customers access premium men's clothing brand locally.
Fast Forward Investment Ghana Limited is the biggest fashion retailer in Ghana, and our specialty or model is in bringing international brands to the African market. So many partnerships globally. Some of the partnerships that we have would be in the multi-brand sports segment and that we call Fast Forward, we call Fast Forward Sports.
John Onyoguzoro, Chief Executive of Fast Forward Investment Ghana Limited. Let's attend to the stock market. Cow Bank and Farm Milk are expected to lead the gainers chart on the Ghana Stock Exchange this week. Let's listen to Grace Munayan of Data Bank Research.
Last week, price movement in 3 banking stocks drove the bourse to close the market indices higher. Standard Chartered Bank emerged as the highest gainer for the week, closing with 30 pesos gains to 12 cedis 80 pesos. Cow Bank followed with 6 pesos gains to 56 pesos, whereas GCB Bank advanced 5 pesos to 3 cedis 20 pesos. Consequently, the Ghana Stock Exchange Composite Index expanded 0.33% weekly to a year-to-date gain of 8.28%. This week, we tipped the prices of cow and farm milk to rise based on observed market demand. For Joy Business Reports, Grace Monanyun of Data Bank Research.
Thanks, Grace. On the currency market this morning, the dollar going for 11 cedis 80 pesos on the forex or retail market, the pound going for 14 cedis 90 pesos, and the euro going for 12 cedis 63 pesos. On the commodity market, crude oil open trading at $75 a barrel. Gold lost more than $2, is trading at $1,955 an ounce. Cocoa is selling at $3,236 a ton after losing $26. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kwab. Thanks for doing the listening. The Super Morning Show continues with